Welcome to our weekly class in the series of Torah on mental health. Today is the fourth class out of 7, and we're discussing the idea of maturity, Daas. This is based on the 3rd chapter in the Holy Book of Tanya, authored by Chaim Dalfin of the Adi. See him right behind me. The book that I authored on his Tanya called Tanya on Mental Health. So the series is dedicated to looking at his book and finding from each chapter some caveat, some point to deal with a mental health issue. So today we're discussing the mental health issue of focus and concentration. This is a very important and large issue because far too many people today suffer from the inability or the perceived inability to focus and concentrate. The internet age has brought tremendous good to the world in the sense of communication, Torah outreach, mental health classes, and much more. At the same time, it's caused a breakdown in the ability to focus and concentrate. Everything is quick today. Anything that needs time to seep in is very, very difficult in today's culture. So the first thing we want to do is talk a little bit about the importance of what we call Daas or DAT, D-A-A-S. Daas, loosely translated, means knowledge. There's the Hebrew word veyotaita, lodat, da, to know. You shall know. The author of Chaim Dalfin, he says, although those meanings are all true, but Das also comes from the idea of the ability to plant yourself, to settle yourself, or in mental health language, to focus and concentrate. To focus and concentrate on an idea. Let me tell you a short story anecdote. There was a chassid, his name was Rabbi. And this Rabbi, when he was a young boy, when he made a blessing, but rather very quickly. And the third Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Nachum Mendel of Lubavitch, known as Tzemach Tzedek, told him, Eretz, don't be childish. He didn't tell him don't be a child, because he was a child at the time. Childish. What is the difference between a child and childish? A child doesn't think much. It's instant gratification. I want it now. If I don't have it now, I get upset. Or, for that matter, I get very quickly turned on and excited. The long-term absorbing of an issue, the development of an issue, the thinking much into an issue is an adult-like behavior. So that Tzemach Tzedek was telling this child, if you want to succeed in life, don't use a childish attitude of impatience, of the quick fix. And we know about this because when Paris was an adult already, Before he made a blessing on food, he would stop and say it's analogous to this on a basketball court. Timeout, right? They're dribbling the ball and they're stealing, they're shooting, right? It's happening, and everyone's running, one team against the other, and all of a sudden, one player goes like this: timeout. The referee says timeout. Everyone gets a chance to talk with each other and their coach and to regroup. Peretz, before he made a blessing as an adult, he didn't go timeout this way. He went timeout this way. He put his head on his forehead like this. And he thought for a moment, before whom am I eating this apple? He didn't just take the apple and put it in his mouth, even the brecha, very quickly. No. He held the apple, and then he just for a moment put down the apple, and he put his head on his forehead. Take a moment of reflection. Don't be childish. Be an adult. The Baal Tanya here in this chapter teaches us that this is the notion of Daas. You see, we have Chochmah and Bina. Chochmah loosely translated as wisdom, Bina loosely translated as understanding. The Ches of Chochmah, the first letter of the Hebrew word Chochmah, the Beis of Bina, and the Dalet of Daas is an acronym for Chabad. Ha is Ches, Ba is Bina, Chabad, the D is Das. What's the difference between the three? In the authors, in the Baal Tanya's version, the difference is extreme. Chachma is a geometric point. It's a flash of intuition. It's an idea. You don't know yet what it is. Bina is study and analysis, the developmental process. Das is the most important of the three. Das is focus and concentration. You can have a genius idea, and you can have the best computer analysts to develop that idea. But if you don't take that idea and dwell on it and focus and concentrate on it, the idea won't go anywhere. And this is why many good ideas and many well thought out ideas in the sense of developing the idea don't end up getting a patent, for example. Why? Because what was lacking is the third and most important stage of Das, of focus and concentration. And we find this in the Talmud. The Talmud teaches us that the way to actually have the consummation of the husband and wife in their relationship for there to come an offspring, a child, it requires focus and concentration, Das. And if there is no Das in the union, nothing happens. It's a fleeting experience. And fleeting doesn't mean it's not great. It might be great, but nothing is developed from it. There is no fruit to bear. So Das is a very, very important element. Now, when it comes to mental health, people who deal with all kinds of mental health issues, and the truth is, we all do. Mental health and those that have struggled with mental health, we think of those that have severe mental health issues, from depression to anxiety to anger, etc. Truth is, you find one person who doesn't have some issue of mental health, and you'll find me that person, I'll bow to them. I'm not talking about what we call in Judaism a tzaddik, a holy soul. They're in a different plane, a different category. The average person has some issue, regardless of what they do for their living. They are plagued with a mental health issue. It doesn't mean that it becomes a crisis. It doesn't become a crisis. And that would be the difference between someone who's able to control their mental health issue and someone who can't. The difference is in it becoming a crisis. We want to control the mental health issue. So the Balatanya says, you want to control it, you need to focus and concentrate. You need to focus and concentrate on the idea, on the chachma. You need to focus and concentrate on the bina, on the development of the idea. Now, both chachma and bina, in comparison to each other, one is more I, self, and one is more the object, the objective view. One is more subjective and one is more objective, right? Chachma is more objective and bina is more subjective. But the truth is that when you put both of them on the scale in comparison to Daas, they're both subjective in comparison to Daas, which is objective. Why? Daas leaves the I, as we discussed in last week's class, the ego. The difference between what we call the Nefesh Elikis of chapter 2 in Tanya, and the Nefesh Abamis of chapter 1 in Tanya, is a difference not just in comparison, but a totally different category. One is I, selfish, and one is you, God, selfless. Das, in comparison to Chochmah and Bina, would be the same idea, or similar at least. It's being selfless versus selfish. Why? Because when you focus and you concentrate, you are causing the idea and its development to take a back seat. The position in Das is being absorbed by the higher, by the greater. The position in Chachma and Bina is you're in control, a little more or a little less. Das is submit, let go. Let the idea hover over you. Let it inspire you, and you just seep in the inspiration. To do this takes time. To do this takes training. To do this takes patience. So what I suggest, and I've written it in the 3rd chapter in the book here, what I suggest is to take one idea per week and to dwell on this idea initially by understanding it well, both in its germ form, it's in its idea form, and then in its development form, and then letting it dwell on you. Be submerged in it. Don't seek to understand it. Don't seek to develop it. Just seek to be. To be. To be in the aura of the idea. To be in the environment of the development of the idea. What position do you play in that realm? In a way, none. That's exactly what we want. In order to become healthier, you need to get rid of the blockages that we cause on ourselves because of our ego. So we seek to submerge ego, to divest of ego. Does this mean to say that you need to be used, not talking about physical abuse, but abused in allowing people to embarrass you, to insult you, to hurt you? Of course not. That is very unhealthy. At the same time, to realize something takes place that is on the realm of outrageous, it's God given. Why? Why now? Why to me? I don't know why. But I know that since it happened to me and at this given moment, there's a message. And when we focus and concentrate in this line of thinking and this subversion of self into the unknown, we become cleansed, cleansed of the plague, cleansed of the demons, cleansed of all the stuff. Walk around with so much stuff, the stuff from I know this, and she knows this, and he knows this, and why this, and why she, and why he, on and on and on it goes. So this is my message to you for today. I want you to focus and concentrate on being absorbed, especially when it comes to us Jewish people. And we have opportunities as the high holidays approaches to submerge ourselves into the Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Simchat Torah. Those holidays are an excellent time by doing and participating with people, whether it be in synagogue or at home. And preparation is absolutely necessary. What you put in is what you take out. You don't put in time, you don't prepare yourself for the holy days, you're going to have a meaningless experience. Another day of bang, 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 boo, 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 ha, 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 ha. And the 4 weeks will finish, and we're into the next month. And you turn back and say, hey, what did I experience? So this month, the month of Elul, is now time to really, really invest in preparing ourselves for the month of the holy days. And these classes are a good way, another way to do so. So stay in touch. Let me know how I can be helpful. And may God wish everyone a ktiva v'chatima tova. May you be written, graved for a good year of life, health, sustenance, you and your family. And may we see finally, very soon, the Mashiach who will take us all to Jerusalem, rebuild the Holy Temple, and we'll celebrate all together, and we'll all be healed mentally and happy to be together. Amen. Amen.